my baby hot. Don't speak to any moment. Product of her environment. Shout out the global woman. Can't box her in with any trend. No, she's a global woman. Call Fire Marshal Bill. Now let me tell you something. Flawless, beautiful. Follow codes down to her toes. Cue the codes. Picking rolls with the flow. Slam dunking all the golds. Silvers for the novice and golds for the pros.
What's going on, everybody out there in TV land, on YouTube and on Facebook Live? We come to you tonight to interrupt your regular scheduled program. Hey, y'all, we got a hot topic tonight. We got an all-new panel tonight. Yes, they ready. They lock and loaded. The mic is hot. The phone line is ready. We're about to get busy. But before we start, Facebook. We talk about this every single week. Facebook, there is a link right there in the chat section. Click that link and come straight on over and catch us on YouTube. All right. Hey, YouTube, blink, blink, click that like button. It's the thumbs up, and then scroll your finger over, press the subscribe button, and make sure you hit the all so you get all the notifications when we're going live. All right. So click like, scroll over, and press subscribe and share. All right. Also, we're doing something new. Every time we hit the 200 milestone mark with subscribers, we're going to the chat and find one or two people and send them a gift. But you must be a subscriber to participate. Also, I pinned my Stop Playing Apparel link in the chat section. Hey, y'all, support starts at home with you and me. Support your boy, all right? Check my link out, like it. Buy something, don't like it, still buy something. All right. Last but not least, if you like what we're doing, there's a QR code on the screen. All monetary gifts are accepted. All monetary gifts are appreciated. We thank you in advance for your gifts. If you're not able to scan the QR code because you are on your mobile device, don't worry. We got a cash tag. Our cash tag is $Nutz, N-U-T-Z, Boltz, B-O-L-T-Z 1. Again, the cash tag is $Nutz, Boltz 1. And with that being said, welcome to the Nuts and Bolts of Life. My name is Evan Chapman. I'm from South Carolina. And I'm your host tonight. I'm your host. Let's see the panel. Get them on in here. All right. So we're gonna start off with the lady in the green. Please announce yourself and where are you from?
Hey everybody. My name is Tacola and I'm from South Carolina as well.
All right, we're gonna go with the gentleman next to you. Sir, please introduce yourself and where are you from?
My name is Henry, and I'm from Orlando by way of Chicago. And I look forward to this evening. It looks like a great panel and an outstanding topic.
Thank you, Brother Henry. All right, we're going to go right down to the guy who just popped up on the screen. Sir, can you introduce yourself? With the baby walking through the back of the screen.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Joshua. It's always a pleasure, man. Joshua from Chicago. It's always a pleasure to get on the Nuts and Bolts panel, so I appreciate you guys for having me.
Joshua, welcome. Next, we got the young lady next to Joshua. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, guys. I'm Sherry, and I'm also from South Carolina.
Sherry. Next, we have the young lady next to Sherry. Last but not least, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie by way of ATL.
All right, so there we have it. We got the panel for tonight. So tonight's topic is, it's a good one, y'all.
Gender roles.
It's gender roles. So we gonna talk about gender roles tonight, y'all. We gonna see what's going on with them. We're gonna see if they exist. Some of the gender roles is gonna be about in the house. Some of it maybe outside of the house. But I think everybody looking kind of serious right now. So I'm gonna shake it up real quick and just have fun with this first question. Because everybody looking like, okay, how you gonna say it? So this first question, y'all might be like, this ain't a gender role question. What's the question I'm gonna put out there to y'all? Is sex an obligation?
What do you mean?
Right.
Obligation.
In
And what
context?
You married? Is it an obligation that you give your mate sex?
I think that's a loaded question. It depends.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the
Everything.
relationship. Mm-hmm.
Well, for me,
Brother Henry, you had your hand up, Brother Henry. Let's see.
finger up.
Go ahead, Joshua. I'll go after you, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely have to break down the context of what that and you know what I mean, the dynamics of what that is. But if we're just talking about marriage, right? I think that there's an expectation as a man from me to receive sexual, you know what I'm saying, from my wife. Not trying to be intrusive, not trying to, take over, but I'm saying when I got sexual needs, and I think that it should be expected for a wife to treat his man to those sexual needs. And vice versa too. I'm not leaving that out. Women, have the same needs and wants as well. So, I mean, I can't be stingy with it as well. So I think that that's something that goes both ways.
Anybody else want to chime in on this one?
I got to piggyback on what Brother Joshua said. If we're going to keep it 100, it's an obligation. And not just for ladies, for men, for women. Because, I mean, in these strange times we have today, you got men holding out. But no, it's an obligation. Certainly if we're married, it's an obligation. And like some of the ladies said at first, there has to be a little more context to it. Of course, if someone's ill, I'm not counting that. If someone is, extenuating circumstances, no. But all things being equal, yeah, it's an obligation.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about no nonsense. We're talking about two well bodies. And if you're mad, you still an obligation to give your husband or give your wife sex. That's the question. Come on, let's go, Jackie. Let's go.
Wait a minute now. You said even if you're mad. That depends. I mean, because you can have some heated moments in a marriage. You have some heated moments, and if we have had a heated moment, I'm gonna need you to give me a little time and a little space to get myself together. I do agree, and I believe that sex is an obligation in a marriage, but it just depends on like what's happening on a day-to-day basis. It gives everybody an opportunity to say, "Not tonight." Not today.
You got 30 to 45 minutes to get over it before we go to bed. What Brother Henry say? Oh, you're fired. I'm sorry, Sherry. Did you have something, Sherry? I think you're looking over there. You have something for us?
Yeah, I was gonna say I would say it's definitely an obligation in a marriage, just like paying bills or like cleaning up the house. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean like you could just take that shit whenever you want it. You know what I'm saying? Like there still has to be consent and there has to be communication. So, like he said, sometimes we get sick or we don't feel good or whatever. I feel like as long as your communication is straight, then you should be fine. But yeah, like overall, yes, it is an obligation. You just have to make sure that communication is there for sure.
Taking this called rape. Well, we're gonna move on to the next question there. We ain't trying to rape nobody out
here. Agreed.
So, panelists, who handles the household finances? The man, the woman, the one who brings home the most income, or the one who's is better with the finances?
Again,
you
it
had your hand
depends on
up?
the relationship.
I did. I was just basically saying like the one that holds everything down with the finances. Because sometimes, not saying all men, but sometimes women are better able at better managing money versus men sometimes. So I think a woman holds it down.
Jackie?
I agree in a certain sense. I think ultimately it's whoever does it better. Because there are some women who are not good at finances, who don't know how to manage money. There are some men who don't know how to handle the finances and manage money. So whoever really is the best at it should be the one that's handling it.
Anybody agree? Anybody disagree with that?
I agree with her too.
I know some people can like do it together. Like sometimes it's like a joint effort. It just, again, like it just depends on the relationship. Like if you're super traditional, there's some, sometimes they want the man to pay all the bills and the wife stays home with the kids. And maybe the wife will literally be the one to like manage everything because, like she said, some women are better at like that. But then there's some women who aren't good at it. So it just depends on the relationship.
Well, let me say they don't let Brother Hen go. I believe that I thought that since my ex-wife was better at the finances, she should control it. But now, as I've been divorced for 2 years now and been doing things myself, I retract that statement because I think that kind of hindered us some too, because I should have been stepping up and maybe trying to handle the finances because it's a big deal, but as long as you know as long as you got a bill book and you know how to break down things, it's not really that complicated. I just was lazy. That's all. I was playing lazy. But now I'm not lazy anymore. But once I see it that way, then I can be the man to step up and be responsible and taking on that role of make sure all the finances is handled, make sure it's going it's allocated right, make sure it's going to the right things, and make sure that we're not going above our means and stuff like that. Go ahead, Henry.
I think my answer might be a bit unpopular to some of the folks on the panel, but I think the man should take care of it. And I'll give you context of why. If the man is the leader and he's leading, he's ill prepared to be married if he doesn't know how to handle finances. I don't think a man should be married if he doesn't know how to handle the finances. So I think that's one of those jobs that should fall on the man, because the house is only as strong as the man.
Tacola?
So back to your question that you just said, but what if the woman is the breadwinner? Then what? You still think that she shouldn't be handling the finances?
Are you asking me or asking Henry?
Situation. No, him. I'm talking to Henry for your statement that you made.
It doesn't matter who's the breadwinner.
Oh.
Jackie.
Okay, so let me just get a little bit of context to this. So we're talking about managing finances, like knowing when the bills are due, paying the bills, and all of that, right? It has nothing to do with who makes the most money or what, because honestly, if it's a true marriage, that has nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But Henry, if you feel like the man is the head, which he is and should be, then the head, when you're a good head, you know how to delegate that. And it doesn't mean that you don't know how to pay bills, because truly, as adults, if you got married into your adulthood, you should have probably been handling some finances of your own before you became a joint community with your wife. But I mean, the head who is managing being the head well also knows how to delegate. And delegation is, you know what, babe, you got this. Because the wife might have spreadsheets and this and that, or the husband may. I just think that if we're working together as one, then you are handling your household as a man. If you say, babe, I need you to handle this.
Well, Jackie, I got to come back. I got to come back on you.
Hold on, brother Hen. Hold on, brother Hen. Before you come back, I knew you was gonna have to come back. Hey, Facebook, it's about to get live. I don't know what's about to happen on the show, but I got to tune off. If y'all want to catch the show, there is a link right in the chat section. I'm about to tune off of Facebook. So I got to pay attention to what's going on. Come on over to YouTube, catch the rest of the show. All right, Henry, go ahead.
I got to come back. That's a good point you made. But if I've put forth a delegation for you to take care of this, and let's say it's not getting taken care of, who does it fall on? It still falls on the man.
I agree.
So I'm sure no lady wants to be micromanaged. So that means even though you're taking care of the finances, I got to check every month or every few weeks. So I might as well go ahead and do it myself.
If you trust in me fully, as we should be trusting each other, why would you feel like you need to check to make sure I'm doing it correctly? I mean, like, first of all, you'll know very soon if things are not being handled correctly. And if she's not handling it correctly, that means she's not the best at it. She's not managing it well, which means, okay, you got to give up your job. You got to give up those tasks. But why would you need to check me if we have that trust, which I would assume if we, if we're doing it right, we should have that trust between us where you know that when you ask me to do something, it's going to be done, period.
Hey, you not going all night. So if anybody else want to tune into that question, you can, but we're gonna move on to another one.
You had one more, Ed.
Who I'm sorry.
I was gonna say that y'all are basing this on healthy normal relationships, right? Like there's a lot of very not so healthy relationships out there. But like if we go with Henry, like, yeah, I think the man should be the head of the household. I think the man should hold everything down, but I'm traditional, you know what I mean? And not everyone is like that now. Some women are like Sokola, and you have to like hold it all down. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just depends.
Well, I'm gonna segue into the next question then, because you kind of alluded to it. Kind of, are there differences in how gender roles are perceived or enforced in different parts of the world by race or even class? And if so, what do y'all think those are?
Mm-hmm.
You said definitely. Go ahead. Elaborate on that a little bit.
I know in a lot of cultures, actually most cultures that aren't America, the man is the head of the household, like no matter what. There's probably like very few places where the woman is like the head of everything, but most places it's like the man rules it, the man holds it down, like, and you're literally not a man. Like they won't even respect you or consider you a man if you're not doing these things. If you don't make more than your wife, you're kind of like, you're not him. A lot of cultures are like that for sure. And I feel like America is just like doing its own thing. That's all I'll say with that.
And vice versa with the women. Go ahead. Yeah, and vice versa with the women and the gender roles that we see, abroad. Similar to what Sherry said, you're looked down upon, you're frowned upon if you're not doing the traditional things that is expected of you as a wife or as a feminine woman when it comes to women too. So I think both sides of the spectrum really, really hold their gender roles accountable abroad a little something different than what we do in America.
What are some of the norms you think? Henry, go ahead.
Just to add on to what these good folks just said, over the last 50 years, we have gone from traditionalists to now the Western world is, and when I say the Western world, I'm talking about the United States, the UK, and people that are on the spectrum, it's really gotten out of whack. I think traditional marriages are very uncommon now. Where it used to be commonplace is just uncommon. That's why you got a lot of guys now going overseas looking for women because they're looking for that traditional type wife. And I'm sure this is a topic for another show, but there's reasons behind why we've changed so much over these years. But yes, in other cultures and countries, they are still doing that, and it's we've gotten way away from it.
What are some of the traditional roles of a woman or a man in the house? Not the modern day, but somewhere back in the old days. Go ahead, Jackie.
So old school gender roles, the man went to work, he brought home the money, the woman stayed home, she took care of the kids, she took care of the household. And after the man came home from work, his work was done at that point because the woman handled everything else inside of the home. So those were pretty much the traditional gender roles. Household chores. I mean, I don't think really inside of the house there were many chores for the man to do because the woman was at home. She kind of handled all of those things. But I think traditionally outside of the home, yard work, garage stuff, that I think that was typical of what the men handled as far as chores and things like that.
Sokola, I see you had your hand up.
I was just gonna agree with Jackie. Like back in the day, that's what the man did, and the woman stayed at home, cook, clean, make sure the kids was taken care of, and stuff like that. Nowadays, things are definitely different. Just prime example, I'm not married yet. However, I've been independent for so long, so it's like now in my current relationship, I don't know how to let the man lead. I always been the leader in my relationships, not the follower. So now it's just like it's hard for me to transition to that. But like she was saying in reference to how culture is different now. Like the man is the leader, the man's supposed to do this XYZ, but women are so prone to be independent. We do everything now, so it's hard to adjust.
So do that cause a lot of confusion or frustration in your home? If I could be nosy a
Some
little bit.
Sometimes a little bit, because I think I know everything, and normally I don't. But I'm so used to my way, my way, my way, and everything is not always co-way. So I have to learn how to adjust. So I'm learning that. I am.
And I want one more follow, coach. Do you think you try to lead and hope he follows?
Definitely.
So you do
On
try
certain
to lead and
situations.
hope he follows you.
Yes, on certain situations.
Ooh, wow. Go ahead, Jackie.
Let me say for the record, I don't want to lead. I don't want to be the head. But I need a man who's able to do that. I need a man who is going to be the head, who's going to profess over his family. I need a man who is going to really and truly lead in a responsible way. I am an independent woman, have always been an independent woman, but that doesn't mean that I want to lead. I don't want to tell you what to do. Now, when it comes to some decisions in my marriage, I would like for us to sit down and have discussions about it. I would like for us to have a marriage where we compromise on some things, where if I have a great idea or the way that I'm suggesting we do something, I feel like that should be a conversation. And if we both have agreed that my suggestion is a better way to go, me making a suggestion and us choosing to do what I've suggested doesn't mean that he's following me. He is the head, he is the lead. But I think sometimes in this day and age, saying you're the head, saying you're the leader, sounds good, but there's real work to that. And everybody's not willing to do the work. So if you want me to follow as an educated woman, as somebody who has rational thought, and a rational process of doing things, then my husband should see me as an asset to the family. And that doesn't mean that I whatever I say goes, because I don't want to be in a relationship like that.
So you threw education out there. I want to touch on that for one second.
Education, I'm saying somebody who, has gone through school, somebody has also lived life and can.
No. I got your point. I want to just ask you this question: does your man have to be also educated, or your husband, I should say, as well as you, or can he have no college degree and still be able to lead you?
He doesn't have to have a college degree to lead me. Leadership does not necessarily equate to education. Okay. Your life experience is a part of education. And it just depends on how you move and shake. Depends on whether you're going to be a good leader or not.
I want to ask that question because you threw education out there. So I had to come back with some, because I'm educated. And not to be argumentative, but I'm educated. So I'm like, wait a minute. So
I didn't say it like that, Edmund. No, I didn't mean it in terms of like that. I just meant that in terms of I can add some good suggestions to our family situation. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that just because a man is the head, that he has to come up with every thought, every process, everything has to fall on his shoulders. We're supposed to be a team as one. And so when you are a team and you're working as one, then it's me and him and our family against the world, period. And whatever that looks like for us, then that's what it is.
Hey, y'all, we're going to let Brother Hen go in a second. Right now, the phone lines are open, y'all. If y'all want to call in, the phone lines are open. The number is 704-891-9560. Right now, we're talking about gender roles, guys. So if you want to call in and get a part of this conversation, don't be long-winded when you call in, because I will hang up on you. Call in, give us your little tad bit. The number is 704-891-9560. Now we're going to hear from Brother Henry.
I'm hearing what the ladies are saying. My question to the ladies then would be, if you don't want to lead, you want somebody to lead you, you need somebody to lead you, then why would you pick a man that can't lead?
Sherry?
Because sometimes they act like they can in the beginning, and then you find out down the road, oh, wait, you're actually not a leader at all. And it's too late. It's too late by then. I don't think women actually, well, I can't speak for everyone, but me personally, I won't pick a man that I don't feel like can be a leader or the head, or like she said, like that traditional, like man, you know what I mean? But I've gotten them. I've gotten them quite a few times where they seem to be a leader in the beginning and they change, or they are, and then they change. You know what I mean?
So when you found this man, you thought he was a leader, right? Mm-hmm. You thought he was a leader. You found out he's not a leader. Did you leave him, or did you become the leader and let him tag along?
It depends. So like in my last marriage, I just became the leader because we were married, but then I eventually left him. So, so yeah, if it was just a regular relationship, like we're just dating, then yeah, I would have just left.
Go ahead, Henry.
If we're being honest, you can only get fooled for a couple weeks. You can't fool anybody as a leader, saying you're a leader, because a leader moves a certain way. He acts a certain way. He has certain dealings a certain way. I mean, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, but after that, the facade is over. So
Henry,
that's
some
why
people are real good. Henry, some people can go years.
Some people are
Especially if you
con
don't
artists.
live together. If you live together, it's easier to pick up on it. But if you don't live together, oh my goodness, they can pull the wool over your eyes for as long as they can.
Not a chance. I think if we all take some truth serum, not a chance. Because what it is when you look back, you say, okay, I saw this sign, I saw this sign, I saw this sign. Many times we overlook, and not just women, men too sometimes. We overlook some red flags and we will let them go. And then before you know it, because you're riding along with something else that you really like about this person, you have now been overwhelmed with what he can't do. And I think leading is one of the top priorities of a man. And I think you can see that right away.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. We got someone said culture definitely plays a role. Someone said say that with exclamation point, exclamation point. And the last person said need a longer vetting process. Spend your time interviewing before hiring. I actually like that because I hire real fast. I like the vetting a little longer. All right, so we gonna move right along. Okay, if both parties work the same amount of hours, who cooks and who cleans most? So the man works 40, the woman works 40. Who do the most cooking and cleaning? Go ahead, Scola.
The woman. I think it should be equal. However, I feel like majority of the time it's the woman that's doing everything.
I guess it depends on who cooks better too. Like if there's unfortunately some women who can't cook, and then there's some men who can't cook. So whichever partner can't cook probably shouldn't cook the most. So you just gotta figure it out. I know for me, it's usually me. Even if I work 80 hours, I still come home and I'm gonna be the one that's cooking and cleaning.
Same.
So if y'all both work 40, you do the cooking and he does the cleaning, then would it be split up like that?
No, I would probably do it all. I would probably still do it all.
Wow. Jackie, get your hand up.
Yeah, I agree with that. For the most part, and I guess it depends on the relationship. But for me, in my marriage, I did most of the cooking and all of the cleaning. And that's just because of how I am with how I want my house to be. So I do all of the cleaning. And when it got to a point where I was working a lot of hours and to clean my house was a 2-day task, then we had to talk about hiring somebody to come in and clean the house. So no, I prefer that in that marriage, I prefer to be the one to do all the cleaning because then I knew it was clean right. Cooking, there were sometimes because I travel with work, there were some times where, he cooked. I wouldn't get home till late. And so he would cook to make sure that there was some food when I got home on the days I was coming home from travel. And so I think it just depends on who decides what they're going to do in that situation as far as cooking food. Because sometimes women are not great cooks. And so probably would be better to have a man to cook.
Do y'all believe in so in my marriage, I cooked, I grilled. I didn't really cook. I grilled. Yes, I grilled on my days off. So instead of her having to cook on my days off, I just either grilled or I just bought food. What do y'all think about stuff like that? Like if someone's off that day.
Yeah, that's fair. Or like Jackie said, like just hiring someone to do it. If you both work, whatever makes it easier.
I agree. As long as you get it done, we have something to eat. I'm fine. However you choose to do it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everyone. I mean, it only makes sense if I expect my spouse to go 50-50, that, you know what I mean? That 50-50 means more than just income. So if I'm expecting my spouse to go 50-50, she should expect me to go 50-50 with tending to the house as well. And there's no way I get off at 2. I'm waiting till she get off at 6 or 7 to, you know, clean up around the house or throw something on the stove. You know what I mean? There's no way, especially if we got kids and things going on. So I think in this traditional reality that we're living in today, the roles get meshed and we're expected to do both. You're expected to know how to clean. You know, you expected as a man to know how to do laundry. So I think that, you know, there's no most. If we're both working, then we're both working. We're both tending to the jobs. We're both tending to the bills. We're both tending to the house as well.
So Joshua, you opened up something when you said 50-50. What do you said 50-50, then you said no 50-50, then you said it is 50-50. You said 50-50 about 50-50 times. So let's come back to that, Joshua.
Oh, 50-11 times.
There is 50-50, but not just to money, finances, but okay, break that down, because you said it a bunch of times. I'm trying to stay with you now.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, we live in a new jack era, in a new jack environment, and we have to live a new jack type of lifestyle. So, you know, I mean, houses, $230,000, and cars is off the chain, and bills is crazy, inflation is crazy. So we're both expected to contribute to the household financially. And then, so if I expect my woman to contribute to the household financially, she can definitely expect me to, you know, make sure the laundry is done, make sure I throw a roast in the pressure cooker for a quick second, in the crock pot real quick. And you know, that's the new definition of what relationships is. We almost have to go 50-50 to be able to survive in the environment that we live in today. So I mean, what I'm saying basically, if I expect her to work 40 hours, she can expect me to, you know, make sure them laundries is folded and you know, sweep behind that stove and make sure the kitchen clean and some food done when she get home. That's all I'm saying. And vice versa, though. I mean,
most men go, well, I know my goal, and I think Henry go, well, he might reach his goal already. But we want a 50-50. We want to be able to take care of everything, like financially. If I had it like that, I would want to do that. No, that's my end goal. When I get married and I got it like that, that would be my end goal, to take care of everything financially. I'm pretty sure my grandfather probably did it. I think my uncle does it. My cousin does it. You know, so that would be my end goal. I don't know about yours, Joshua, but that would be, so it won't be 50-50. That's why I'm going about the 50-50 stuff.
You know, for me, I'm single and loving it. You know, I own my house. You know, I make 80 plus. You know, I take care of my kids and my situation. So I'm single and loving it. But I'm just speaking on an environment that we're moving in today. This is not your great granddad's environment. Your great granddad could build a house for $10,000 and situate the whole family off working at the factory, making $30,000 a year. You can't do that. That's not the reality for you. So we have to change. Again, it's a new jack environment. We have to change and adapt to that. And unfortunately, it takes two situations to, you know, in certain situations, it takes two to be able to maintain that.
Jackie?
I'm not doing 50-50. Not doing 50-50 of bills. I'm not doing 50-50 of chores. I don't think the 50-50 really exists. One, if you're going to carry the title of the head, then you got to be the head. And so financially, I am more than capable of handling the bills and all of that. But if I have to, I don't want to be roommates with my husband. And doing 50-50 is you're paying half, you're doing half. Oh, I paid, you know, $3,000 this month. You paid $3,000 this month to handle the household bills. Then we're just roommates. We're just roommates. So if you're going to be the head, you're going to have to be the head. You're going to have to be the leader. And it costs to be the boss.
Go ahead, Henry.
I got to say, a lot of people online would bash a lady that would say that, but I absolutely love it. I'm more of a traditional guy. As a fact, I don't want my wife paying not one bill. And that's why I feel that as the head, there are certain requirements that come along with it. Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Absolutely.
So I feel that yes, if I'm the head and and I can take care of all the bills, now it doesn't mean that I won't help around the house if I feel like it. But I'm going to put my wife in an absolute perfect position where she has no complaints. So I'm more of a traditionalist. Now I respect what Joshua said because times have changed. But I was raised by older people, and I'm a traditionalist myself. I can respect today's times with the 50-50, but that's just not what I do.
I also respect what Joshua said, and I live that way. But now, like I said, I'm talking to my older family members, and I'm watching them. I don't ever want to be like anybody. Everybody know I want to be like Ed, but I still watch what they're doing, and I'm learning more as I'm getting older. And I strive to get to that, not to diminish Joshua or anyone else, but I try to get to that stage where, if I have it like that. Yeah, I don't want my wife to pay a bill. Just like I said at the last show, if I go on a date, there is no budget for the date. Whatever the date costs, that's what it costs. If I don't have the money, I'm not going. But I'm not going. I'm not about to be a ball on a budget or none of that stuff. So I do strive to be back with how the older gentlemen did it back in the day, not the new modern day guys. So not putting you down, Joshua, but that's just my goal. I'm trying to get to.
Oh no offense taken, but you definitely got to be able to adapt to times, and that's part of the relationship dynamic that us men have to adapt to nowadays. Not saying that that's what I'm on, but that's the environment. That's what we that's what we smell, and it's a reason why folks ain't getting married nowadays because they ain't nobody trying to ain't no man really out here trying to work yourself to a grave to be able to accomplish a stale tradition that's not relevant to their times today.
Tacola, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just to piggyback what you were saying, you want it to be where you take care of everything. So in that situation, is the woman working or she's not working? Because sometimes when a man feels like that he's doing everything, it can be controlling to the woman. You might feel like, oh, I ain't got to give you no money this week. You ain't, this is my money, blah, 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 blah. So it's a difference. So I'm asking, are you saying it like you're doing everything and she's working or she's not working?
Well, my end goal would be, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I didn't know she was asking me that or you. Go ahead, Ed.
Well, my end goal personally would be for her not, if she choose not to work. I would not want, if I can have it where she don't have to work, that would be my end goal. I don't know about anybody else, but that'd be my end goal. Her not working. Go ahead, Henry.
Well, would you be controlling if she's spending money that you bringing in? Like,
no, absolutely not. It'd be still our money. It's still our money because I married you. So if I married you, it's our
money.
No, because I'm gonna handle the finances, and I'm gonna make sure that it's getting allocated right and it's getting paid right, it's getting dished out right, everything's getting taken care of. I want my woman to go get her nails done. I said it before in the show. I want to go get her hair done. I want her to look good. I don't want to go outside with no big drawers on. Put on some sexy panties and go out to the club or go out with your girl. I ain't gonna have no wife going to the club, but wherever you're going, look good when you go out. I want you to look good and fly when you go out. I'm gonna look good when I go out, and we're gonna look good together. I got my tag game, my bow tie game that stepped up for my uncle. So hey, we're gonna look good stepping out. So I'm not gonna marry a person that's gonna just be spending my money, just be spending it on foolish stuff. Because back what Cortez said in the chat section, I'm gonna vet her, right? So I'm gonna know from the beginning. Oh, you just a gold digger. You ain't never time to do nothing for me. What? I don't want you in the first place. Tacola, yeah.
Go ahead. Ask the question because some people feel control. I like my own money, but
no, I'd like to answer that. So there's some clarification to what I said. No, controlling is not even a word used in my household. Even though I do pay for everything, I also have created an income for my wife. I've created that income for her, and I'm going to always have her in a position to where income is coming in that's just hers. She doesn't have to, she can work just in the family business. So she can work on that. But I've created other revenue streams for her as well. So that's not the issue. The issue is this. I think men have a certain role. And because I'm a traditionalist, I think a man should take care of everything. It goes back to the question that was asked earlier, all the way down to the finances. It's not that the lady can't do it. She shouldn't have to do it. See, I'm taking things off of the lady's plate. I'm taking worry out of you. There's certain things that should be carried on shoulders, and then there's things that could be carried by hips. But I don't want my wife to have to worry about things like that.
I like that, Henry. And look, can I clarify, please? Were you done, Henry? I don't want to interrupt.
Oh yeah, no, I'm done.
Let me clarify when I say that I don't want to do 50-50, which I don't. But I have a career and I still want to work. I love my job. So I want to work my job. But if my husband is taking care of everything with my income, you don't have to worry about anything that has to be purchased in the house, bedding. If there are kids involved, kids are going to be taken care of. Special things that I do for my husband, that can absolutely come out of my income. And it doesn't mean that if your income is taking care of the bills that I'm just going to be out here willy-nilly buying things and shopping and all of that. Trust me, I love to do the shopping, but it will definitely be spread around throughout the family. So it's not like my husband's going to go out there and work and then, now he's got to be concerned because I'm going to be out here spending all the money. No, our income will definitely be used
50-50.
In the right way. No, it won't be used 50-50, but it will be used in the right way.
Just said it. It's 50-50.
Well, no, I don't think
Joshua, let her finish the statement. Joshua, let her finish the statement.
50. I will definitely do some things where I don't have to go to my husband and say, well, can I have, or, am I going to get my allowance this week? There will be some other finances from my income that I can use to do some of the things that I want to do. I'm just that kind of a woman where housewares, things like that, I love to buy that kind of stuff. And so whatever income is there or whatever savings or whatever, however we choose to put the money in accounts or whatever, it's not like he would have to do every single little thing out of his income. My income is definitely hefty enough to take care of some things too. So, we'll just figure it out. But I don't believe in that. You're going to pay half, I'm going to pay half, and this is how we're going to live.
Joshua, come on. I know you hear something about that. I see you over there, Joshua.
I'm just saying. It sounds like 50-50 to me. You know what I mean? I'm not disagreeing or agreeing. I'm not saying that that's what I do for myself. But I'm just saying there's certain situations that require an aspect of you being the same, like you doing the same. You 50-50 too. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's an aspect of relationships in today's environment that require me to cook, that require me to clean and tend to the household. Just like you just said, and you just stated, there's some aspect in your household as a woman that's going to require you to pitch in financially. So, however y'all want to slice it, you 50-50, however you want to slice it. If you just hate the term 50-50, just hate the term 50-50. But the behavior, what y'all doing in action is actually 50-50, and it works in relationships. And you can call it 100. You can call it 100. If that make you feel better, call it 100.
I agree. There are some families
the laurels on and feel comfortable.
My husband never
cleaned
sure
that
in my house.
You provide.
Hold on, Jack. Let Joshua finish the statement.
provide the same effort, whether it's financially, whether it's domestically, you know what I'm saying, that your man do. Now, I'm not saying I don't want you to get up in the middle of the night with the gat when you hear a noise in the middle of. You're not changing no alternators and tires and things like that. That's not the requirement. But I'm saying there's things that you're gonna have to do, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, that constitute a 50-50 style relationship. And that's just what it is in an environment today.
Hey, again, the phone lines are open. The phone lines are open. Joshua getting a little feisty up there, Joshua. I see you. 704-891-9560. All right, we're going to move on to another question. Are there any jobs in the house that's solely for a man or a woman? If yes, why?
Don't no woman take out no garbage in my house. Don't no garbage. Hey, my daughter's not touching no garbage. No one touches garbage. No female touches garbage in the house too. And things like things like maintenance and repair around the house. You know what I mean? Tending to the vehicles. You know what I mean? Those are traditionally, I believe, that are things that men really should be on. You know what I mean? So if you ask me about things that involve the house that are traditional to a man, you know what I mean? I'm gonna say maintenance and the automobile, making sure things is on tap.
Sherry?
I was basically going to say the same thing, like the manly things, like the yard work and stuff on the cars, cleaning the cars, taking out the garbage. If you have pets, like I feel like the man should handle like that kind of stuff. I don't know, but it just depends. Like I personally don't like to take out the garbage, or I'm never going to cut the grass. That's just not going to happen. I can work on my car, but like I don't want to. Like if I have a man that can do it for me, then I would prefer, he do it. But I would say like the stuff that really like requires like that heavy hand and like the muscles and everything, I feel like the man should handle that. Like I don't think a woman should have to mow her lawn or get up under the hood of their car. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what about trimming the hedges and the bushes and whatnot?
No, they could maybe like do the flowers or something. I'm probably not going to cut the hedges. I'll plant some flowers though.
Yeah.
Get like cute little decor, like Jackie said.
Grandma was in that yard. Grandma was planting them flowers, them hibiscus bushes. You know what I'm saying?
And see, that's funny to me because when I was married, we had our house. I love cutting the grass. I love edging the grass, but my wife trimmed the hedges. She hit the big old the scissor things, and then we bought her, I guess I don't know whatever you call it. And she loved trimming the bushes herself. So she did the bushes, and I cut the grass and I edged the yard. And it worked. And I did the weed whacking of the yard. So I didn't think that was a man's job to trim the bushes. She wanted to do it. I'm like, all right, and I did the mowing and the edging.
See, my dad always like did all like everything in the yard except for the flowers. My mom did the flowers, and then my grandma too. Like, and if my grandpa had to work and he couldn't do it, like she would just hire someone to do it. But I don't know. I guess it depends what kind of hedge clippers you have too, because like that's kind of intense.
Yeah, first we had the little hedge clipper thing. Then we got the electric thing where you just it's real quick. We in the band that stuff. So, but my ex-wife, she liked to do it. She was a builder Bob herself. So a lot of stuff she did herself. Like she built a lot of stuff herself. But what else you guys think about that? Is any other roles in the house that's just for women or just for men? Go ahead, Henry.
I think when we're all forgetting, let's say in the middle of the night you hear noise. I think the man should be up and handling that. If you hear something that's not an ordinary sound in the house, I think the man should jump up and take care of that. And Ben, I agree with the other folks. The basic traditional things. I'm going to handle the garbage. I'm gonna wash all the cars. Um, the basic manly stuff, and then there's some things in the house that I can do, but I would rather let the lady handle, like the decorating of the house and things like that. I'd rather her take care of that.
All right, we're gonna go to the phone line. Hello, caller, you're on the line.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I just want to ask a question, pose a question when it comes to purchasing a property, right? If you all want to purchase a home together, and we're saying that one person is the breadwinner or one person is primarily paying all of the bills 100%, right? When you go to purchase a home, both of you are making really good money. Do you include that one person's income, or do you include both incomes? Because if you're making really good money, then you qualify for more house. So are you going to exclude one income to allow for that one person, for that man, to pay for 100% of that? Or do you include both incomes? And if you include both incomes, how do you intend to cover 100% of that when you included both incomes in order to qualify for that house? Or do you date somebody with a much higher income in order to cover the house that you feel like you want? That's primarily just on purchasing property and looking into property, but I think that that is something that should be considered, because in the market now, you're looking at couples who are coming in with both incomes. And if that's the case, how do you plan to cover 100% of that? Thank you.
Thank you for your call. So y'all heard that? What do you think about what the caller just said? Henry, what you got?
Well, for clarification for the caller, one, if you use both people's income and both people go on the credit app, now both of you all are strapped on your credit on one house. I would never overextend myself. If we both make $150,000 a year, that's $300,000 together. I'm never going to make a purchase that one income can't cover. That's just not financially a good move. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you never want to strap both people's credit, because heaven forbid something ever happens. Now one person has to shut their credit down for whatever reason or another. You still have the other you could rely on. Mm-hmm. So that's a real broad question, but with the small paintbrush, I would only cover what one person's salary could cover. That's how much house I'm gonna get.
Do everybody agree with Henry? Anybody got anything different?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Jackie.
I agree. I think if you use both people for their names to be on the mortgage, that doesn't mean that you have to get a house that only one income can't cover.
Yeah.
Joshua, go ahead.
No, I definitely agree. There's some game that both Jackie and Henry just displayed today. Some things that I didn't even think about. So I definitely agree with what they said, and I don't know from my experience. I bought my house on a low when the bottom fell out and fixed it up. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know, but Uncle Henry and Jackie spit some good game, and I think that's really what it is. Absolutely, you don't want to mess up both of y'all demo.
I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. Someone said, even if I cover all bills, my wife shouldn't be expected to cook and clean all the time. If he keeps a roof over my head, I'm going to make sure I keep the inside up, meaning decor, potionals, and such. Also, another person said, let's just say the man provides the bus and drive. I don't know what that means. but I'm will what? I don't know. I'm gonna read another one. There can be some shared responsibilities like laundry, tucking in the kids, and maybe dishes, but some should initiate intimacy. Both should initiate intimacy. And the last one said, I agree because if something happens to either spouse, the other person should be able to pick up and carry on. So affordable is key. All right. We got a few more minutes. I'm gonna go to one more. I'm gonna go to about try to get two more in. Um are gender roles evolving in the workplace and what challenges still remains?
Say that
I
again.
personally believe are gender roles evolving in the workplace and what challenges still remains?
I
I
don't
think
think so.
it is
Yeah.
evolving.
I
So go
don't
ahead,
think
Josh.
there's specific gender roles in the workplace, um, per se, because you have responsibilities and roles as an employee that don't really involve gender roles. I think it's more about equity, inclusion, equality, and the requirements of women in certain positions are somewhat the same as the requirements for men. For example, I work in corporate America. They require me to manage some agencies the same way they require a woman to manage agencies. So I don't think that there's specific gender roles that are evolving in the workplace per se. I think it's more about a level of equality in how women and men can work on a evil playing field.
I definitely agree with you, Joshua. I think the DEI is definitely changing the world, but I think women probably still struggle sometimes when they get to a certain level. Um, I think they still, depending on where you're at, maybe I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me. I ain't got no facts on this. No, I was talking about facts, but I think some places probably depend on how you go. They don't care about the DEI, the diverse, equity, and the inclusion. Like
Yeah,
it's like, all right, you a woman, you're a woman. And Jackie turned her
yeah,
head, so she must got something to
yeah.
say.
Get them checked. Go
So
ahead.
I just want to know, when you say that some women struggle, are you meaning that they struggle to be able to get to that position, or they struggle to accomplish once they're in the
No, I
position?
think I think sometimes it's the good old boy system still. So maybe
Oh,
so
okay.
they
I
they
agree.
they they able to. They're well, like all you
Mhm.
ladies probably able to get to that standard. You seem like bright women, but it still might be that old school good
Mhm.
old boys thing. And I'm not talking about just white people. I'm just talking about in general. Could be black people the same way, whatever. And they
Mhm.
still think like that's like the 90 president of the United States. It might never be a woman. It might not ever be a woman to make be the president. Not saying that it's someone that could be. You never know, but I think they might struggle to just get there, um, even with the DEI. That's what I'm saying.
And it might be because of stereotypical assigned gender roles or uh, gender specificness that pertains to a woman that might not have, which is not her fault. You know what I mean? That's some societal constraints that's put upon her. But yeah, that is a barrier that I see women face, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and then someone said in the chat, the gender roles are equal, but sometimes the pay isn't always equal. And I know that for a fact, a lot of times that women get paid less than men. Even still, like even if they have the same exact job, like there are times when the man will make more.
Go ahead, Henry.
Well, it's against the law to pay somebody differently based on gender, um, except if it's a job that you negotiate your salary. And traditionally, men are better negotiators. So that's usually why a man gets paid more in those fields.
Do y'all agree? Men negotiate better.
I I agree. Traditionally, men are better negotiators because of the way social norms have taught women to speak up for themselves, especially when we're talking about in a business environment. So men from little boys are taught to be a go-getter, to go after it. And women are taught more of, you kind of sit back and let it come to you. I think that's changing a lot. Women are, especially I think younger women this day and age, are absolutely bulldogs when it comes to negotiating. But I think for a lot of us that are a little older, we've had to sort of teach ourselves to negotiate and to really know your value, know your worth, and to be able to speak up for it. So I agree that in general, yeah, I believe men are better negotiators.
Cola, Sherry, I know y'all was looking. Somebody hear something?
No, I don't have anything to say. I agree with Jackie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean,
Mhm.
I like you said, a lot of times it is against the law, but they still do it, unfortunately,
Very true.
and get away with it too.
So, ladies, I want to ask you a question. I see in the chat. Is it true that women were taught to be seen and not heard? Is that true, ladies?
I think in some way, and I think it depends on like to a certain generation. I believe they absolutely were. Like I said, now some of the millennials and younger generations that they don't accept that, and they shouldn't accept it, and so they move differently than older women do.
Well, I'm a
Cola,
Gen X.
Sherry, would y'all taught that?
Uh,
Hold on, y'all don't see what the women actually taught this. Then I'll let you come in. Would y'all
No,
taught
I
that,
agree with Jackie.
Cola?
She said that. Yes.
Don't be disagreeing with her. I want to hear from
No,
you.
I'm not.
What's your answer?
I'm not disagreeing with her, but what
No,
I
I'm
was
just messing
thinking,
with
she
you.
automatically said it. So sorry.
I think to a point, even like the younger generations were like, maybe not this newest generation, but like millennials, I guess, we were still taught to be kind of like submissive to a point, and not really speak out, and say our opinion. But it also, I guess, depends on your religion. Because like, I mean, I grew up Christian, and in the Christian household, we were taught to be submissive to our man. Like that was a big thing, and they were always like pushing it, like, you know what I mean, like you have to be submissive to your husband, and whenever you have a husband you have to be submissive, and that did kind of come along with, you don't get to speak up about a lot of things, you know what I mean, like it. And I guess like it just became a thing, I don't know, like, but like she said, the newer generations, they won't tolerate it, they're just not going to, but they're also not getting married, you know what I'm saying, so it's like, I don't know, there's like a disconnect somewhere.
Go ahead, Joshua.
Just got a little pushback about that. I mean, I'm a Gen Xer, right? That's 1980 to whenever, and the women that were in my generation are go getters, like real talk, like every woman that I went to high school with, they really college educated, they really strong minded. I work in downtown Chicago, which is primarily women dominant. I can walk down the street, I get ran over by women. It's really women dominated, and I think that we've grown up in an environment where it's okay for a woman to be strong. It's okay for you to step out and, you know what I mean, and do the things that you feel is necessary for yourself to be successful. And I'm really proud of that, having two daughters of myself. I teach and instill that in them as well, that go-getter mentality. And I think that's something that was derived from, the women in the generation above us who had to suppress that. They really wasn't playing when it came to instilling that value in the women of the next generation. I've witnessed it. I've seen it. I'm a part of it now. And shout out to it. Let's keep it going.
All right, all right. Okay, so we got about 5 more minutes. I want to hit y'all about 2 more, then let y'all go. Is it okay for a lady to ask a man on a date? If so, who pays for that date? Ladies.
I think it's okay if a lady want to shoot her shot.
Yeah.
And then
I
as a
think it's okay.
gentleman, a woman's gonna offer. Well, I would offer, but of course the real man ain't gonna let me pay it anyway. But it's okay if I ask him on a date. You can shoot your shot.
So you shoot your shot knowing he's not gonna take it.
I mean, you never know. That's like with you. You shoot your shot, I might not bark at it either. So,
Yeah.
like
No, I'm saying you shoot your shot. No, I'm saying if you shoot your shot knowing that a real man is not gonna let you pay, so you shot it and you knowing he's gonna pay anyway. Is that the case, or what if he don't? What if he don't pay still? What if he just take you up on your shot?
Pay for it. Then I'll pay for it.
Would you look at him differently?
Yeah, like if I ask anyone out, I'll be prepared to pay, but I do expect the man to pay. But if he doesn't, I got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But would y'all look at him differently? Y'all shot. The man said, "Cool, I'll go." And then when the bill came, he looked at you like,
I wouldn't ask I wouldn't ask a man out. I'm just saying it's okay for women to do it. I personally, I'm not doing that. You better ask me or we're not going.
I agree.
Jackie.
If I don't know you, I'm not asking you out. I mean, you need to be able to step up and ask me out. If you have some interest, you want to get to know me, then you need to ask me out. Now, if we are in a relationship, then I can plan a date and pay for it for us to go and do some things. And I think that should be okay, and that he shouldn't feel like he has to pay for it, because that's something that I want to do for him. But if I don't know you, it's not happening.
So what if you get the man asked you for your number? You got your number. Y'all been talking on the phone. So you'll literally wait till he asks you. You'll never ask him.
Ask me out. We're not talking.
Yeah, y'all been just talking on the phone maybe about a week. Texting a little bit, and you be waiting for him to ask you on a date.
Or are we gonna stop talking on the phone? Because what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say the same.
Like, I'm gonna need you to step up and be clear on your intentions about what we're doing. And no, I'm not gonna ask you out first. It's not happening.
But nowadays it's about Netflix and chilling. It ain't really about going out no more.
That's not happening either.
Go ahead, Henry.
Well, we need to go back. Joshua so eloquently explained how ladies are moving and shaking these days. So I want the ladies to understand that many times a lot of ladies are unapproachable. And coming from a man who has all the confidence in the world, there's just some unapproachable ladies. So what has to happen sometimes is you do have to come to that man, because there's nothing worse than going to a lady and a lady's not like a man. She'll embarrass you. Where a guy will do it a little more subtly. So now, if you do ask a man out, I can't say, like one young lady said, a real man will pick that bill up. He may pick the bill up or he may not. But the truth is, you asked him out, and so if the person that asked the other person out is responsible for the bill, and that's how it goes. Now, truth be told, you might have a winner. You might pay that one time and might not have to pay for another thing in life.
The test.
Yes.
So I want to ask Henry, when he said women are unapproachable, what does that look like?
I'll tell you exactly what it looks like. If you're in a place where people are sitting down having lunch, or just in a place where people are sitting around reading or conversing, someone who's on their iPad, someone who's on just head buried in their phone, someone who has that RBF, or someone who just looks like every time you try to look over there and get some kind of attention or some kind of notification from this lady, and she is not giving you anything, that's unapproachable. That's for a man right away. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. She's busy, or she's doing something, or she's not interested in me. No, you got to make yourself more approachable for someone to come to you like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Henry, I don't think people in the chat know what RBF is. What is that?
Resting bitch face.
Oh. Hey, I'm gonna get y'all out of here on this last one. Hey, who's the draft? Is it? I'm sorry. Should a man always drive? I mean, dates, going out on trip, going to pick up the kids, going grocery shopping, like going to church. Should a man?
That's just not even. That's not even realistic. Like sometimes I don't know. It just depends what you got going on. Like I drive to the store because I do the shopping. I take the kids where they need to go because, I usually have more free time. You know what I'm saying? But
no, I'm talking about. I think the question is like when y'all together, when you and him in the car together. Should he be in the driver's seat?
It don't bother me either way, as long as we get where I'm trying to go. I guess it depends. It depends whose car too. Like if there's only one car in the home, then but like if we're driving my car, I'm gonna drive my car most of the time. You know what I mean? Like I'm not opposed to him driving my car, but I'm probably gonna drive my car, and he's probably not gonna want me to drive his car. He's probably gonna drive. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. Like whose car are we taking? If we go out on a date, however, I do prefer my man to drive me, and open the door and all that stuff. But again, like if we're meeting there,
Before Dakota go, Sherry, one more question. What about if y'all going on a road trip, and you're driving your car? Y'all taking your car? You still got to drive?
Yeah, at some point, because it depends how far you're going. Some people can't drive that long. Like, don't get me wrong, I could drive like 13 hours straight. But like, if my man's in the car, I would like to switch out and like take turns.
Dakota?
I agree. I like to be in control though, so I like to drive. And then I do. I like to drive. But then on certain occasions, like you said, we having date night or going to church or something, he will, I will let him drive, or sometimes he might jump in there. But if I don't feel like driving, then I would get on the passenger side. But if it's like a long trip, then I'm letting him drive.
So it's based off your feelings.
Yeah, based off my feelings.
Because you control the relationship. Got it.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You said you like to be controlling. I listen well.
I said I like to be in control when it comes to driving.
Oh, when it comes to driving. But earlier you said you want the man to follow you. But I ain't gonna recap. I can rewatch the video and wind it back. You said it earlier.
I'm learning how to allow him to lead and me follow because of past relationships. Don't misconstrue my words.
All right, we about to get out of here. Joshua, your last final thoughts.
Oh man, great show, lovely dialogue. I love the Nutz and Boltz show. It's always a enlightening conversation every time I'm on this panel. So really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for having me, and shout out to Eddie for this podcast.
Thank you. Tacola, we're gonna go you next.
So I was a little nervous when Ed asked me to join this, but I really enjoyed myself. So invite me again. Shout out to you. Nice conversation.
Do you got any social media you want to shout out? I'm sorry, Joshua too. If y'all got any social media, y'all can shout it out right now too.
I'm not on social media.
Okay. Josh, you got one?
_ the book of Joshua.
The book of, are you for real? Like the book of Joshua for real? Like in the Bible?
Just like the Bible.
I like that.
Mathematical Jericho.
_ the book of Joshua. Check him out on social media. Henry Carter, do you have anything left?
Yeah, I want to say, Ed, you got a really good show here, man. Thank you for having me. You had some really good panelists on here. It was really good dialogue. I appreciate you getting the conversation started in our community again. That's really important. And once again, thank you for having me on, brother.
Thank you for coming. Sherry, you got anything left you want to say? You got a social media you want to shout out? Because we know we in something together. Me and Sherry in something together.
Yeah, so my Instagram is Sherry B Official, and then you could find me on pretty much any other platform under Sherry B. My music's on all platforms under Sherry B as well, so check it out. Also, thank you for having me, Ed. This was great. I had a good time. It was really nice to have like mature perspectives. It was good. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Sherry. And I'll see you on set one of these days coming up. Jackie, you got something left?
It was a great panel. I love this. I love having these conversations. I think we all grow when we have mature conversations with each other.
Amen.
We need to do it much more often in this type of way. So shout out to you, Ed, for having this medium so we can all get together and discuss whether we agree or don't agree, but we agree well. We disagree well. So I like it. I love it. Have me back.
Thank you. It definitely will. Hey y'all. So I had to hold it down by myself today. My whole crew was gone today, but I think we had it down. I thank all our guests for coming out. And Jackie literally said I was going to say the reason of this podcast, I say every week, is to have great intellectual conversation, to understand each other, not to be argumentative. We might not agree, but we do it in a tasteful way if we do disagree. And if you'd like to be on this panel anytime, you can reach out to Tashina Nicole on Facebook, or you can reach out to me. It's Edmund Chapman on Facebook, and it's Edmund L. Chapman on Instagram. Reach out to me if you'd like to be a part of the panel. Also, we are looking for sponsors. If you'd like to sponsor the Nutz and Boltz, we are looking for you. You can also, again, reach out to Tashina Nicole on Facebook, or you can email me at eddieed30@gmail.com. We're looking for sponsors. If you'd like to sponsor this podcast, reach out to me and come and sponsor it. But y'all, this is a good show. We about to get out of here. And like I say every single week, I love you. God loves you. Go out and be great on purpose. Peace out, y'all.
Product of her environment. Shout out the global woman. Can't box her in with any